Hello, 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 hello. Okay, things are working. I haven't recorded in a bit. Anyway, should probably bring the mic out here. Again, I haven't recorded in a little while. Um, or at least I haven't recorded with my face. Okay, so as the everything says, it is a update video. So I'm putting this out at the beginning of December for a couple reasons. I'm going to list out the good things first that have happened this year, because this is just going to kind of be a wrap up of the year, I suppose. Excuse me. Which this is just going to be kind of a casual me going through what's happened, and we'll start with the good things. I mean, obviously, I've moved out of my mother's house. This is not the setup that we started everything with. Um, I would like to think that some of the quality of videos has improved slightly, but that's not really a thing that I get to decide if that's happened, and people aren't commenting. But nobody's giving me feedback, so I don't know if quality has gone up or not. Um, Other good thing that has happened, while I obviously did not reach the start of the, well, it wasn't start of the year, it was like September, I think. No, it was last year. So while I obviously didn't reach my initial goal of, you know, getting down to my ideal weight all within a year, quite frankly, I feel like, thinking about it now, that was kind of a ridiculous goal to set for myself, honestly. I did, however, still lose right around 100 pounds this year. So the goal is to continue that and lose the next 100 pounds that I need to by hopefully this time next year. Hopefully earlier than this time next year. But the goal is to keep doing the losing of the weight thing. Yeah. I got engaged. That's a thing that happened. Um, so that's going to be a thing that we get to look forward to for next year. We definitely are not vlogging our entire honeymoon. We certainly are vlogging our entire honeymoon. Where we've got a couple different options that we're considering for honeymoon locations. Probably not doing much about the wedding, except maybe like a short about looking at through the venue and whatnot. I don't know. We're not there yet. That's next year's That sounds like a problem for next year, me. Um, Colossal Con happened. That was mostly fun, partly infuriating, but mostly fun. And the infuriating part was due to completely personal reasons that have nothing to do with the actual convention and everything to do with some of the people that were there. But anyway, we did a massive amount of cleaning out, and both before, during, and after the move, we've just been removing things that are no longer necessary, and things are, well, not substantially less cluttered. Obviously, I am a maximalist, and I like to fill my world with whimsy and things that make my brain happy. Hence the newly acquired giant clown on my shoulder here. Um, Not really newly acquired, so much as just semi recently made. I'm gonna be honest, I've been intending on making him for like a year or two now, and I just finally had the time to do all of the sewing and the painting, so I'm just like, I'm doing the thing. I'm debating on if I want to add any weathering to his clothes or not. But honestly, I kind of like the idea that he's just like, and bright and shiny new again. We got new channels. Well, not. So this one is going to continue being a probably me only channel specifically, because this one is my crafting, vlogging, whatever I feel like essentially channel. This is my channel of things that I enjoy. And I would hope if you're here you enjoy them too. But the other two channels are Mamunch, which is a gaming specifically channel, which actually works out because I was debating on doing gaming stuff here, and then my boyfriend's like, why don't we do that on a different thing? And I'm like, okay. So, and then Mamunch Extras, which is, well, Mamunch, but more. And that's where we put a bunch of the, like, well, I guess that's more of the vloggy version. That's more like this channel, except containing both of us. So that's where, like, our convention vlogs are going to go, and our Disney vlogs for next year are going to go, because that's one of the options we have for our honeymoon that we're debating. And so, yeah, that's a thing. We have the social medias for all of those, for both of those channels as well. So that's a thing. My social medias seem to be doing pretty okay. Like, most of them are at or near the 100 mark. We almost have 400 people here on YouTube, so that's actually kind of great. Like, now the only problem, though, is that everyone that subscribed only subscribed for shorts, which does not get me the view count I need for the possible monetization. Please watch my long-form content too, guys. I know you subscribed for cute animal videos, but you can have both, I promise. We conveniently moved, like, 5 to 10-ish minutes away from the zoo here, so, like, the animal videos aren't going to stop appearing. They're going to keep coming. You can watch cute animal videos and also watch me make things. It'll be a fun new hobby. I got my biggest costume yet. That was a thing that I did for Colossal Con. My Valentino costume, which should be on the channel somewhere. Yeah, that should have been up like last month, I think, or the month before. That's a thing. So that took me ages. We are working on figuring out how to film things better generally. So the goal is to keep upgrading equipment, because right now what we have is pretty stock, standard, basic starter YouTube channel stuff. So we're going to hopefully continue to be able to upgrade that, and that will be great. Yeah. I got a new hobby, which is potion making potions, making fake potions. That's been fun. That's also provided me with the ability to make slightly more crafty shorts, since most of my shorts are about zoo stuff, because I like animals, and I like excuses to film animals. I'm hoping that I can get into crochet, because I've never attempted, well, I can't say never attempted. I've never gotten very far at doing any of the like yarn crafts, the knitting, the crocheting, the those things. Um, I'm a very impatient person. I like being able to start seeing results soon-ish, and those things just take so long for what you're doing to feel tangible to my brain that they have never kept my interest for very long, which is why I'm hoping that the making of cute little things and creatures will fix that. So like this is one of the like 3 or 4 kits that I got, and these are probably going to end up on the channel. This one I got more recently because it happened to be on sale at Target. But I've got that. I've got Pokemon one, and I've got a one that is making 2 different elephants, I think. So I'm hoping that I can get into that because I think that would be the way that I would actually stay interested in the yarn craft thing, is if I get a little guy out of it at the end. I kind of vaguely started getting into needle felting with those 2 kits that I did earlier in the year, and also doing a little bit of it on my Valentino costume. So I'm hoping I can also get more into that, and then that will be another thing that can just go up on the channel as I make it, because honestly, those kinds of things are not hard to film or edit. And I need more things that are not hard to film or edit, which is why speed draws are going to keep happening. Because, alright, I feel like that pretty well leads into the bad things that happened. We're going to start with the less heavy things, or at least less heavy to you guys, because I'm not going to go into details. I had to quit what was essentially my dream job due to several personal reasons that I'm not going to get into, but if you've been listening to or keeping up to the various poetry that I've been recording, putting up, etc., that kind of touches on the subjects a little bit, or at least some of them do. And I'm not going to say which ones because, again, I'm not here to call people out. Due to that, and due to me generally being what I would consider a jack of all trades, master of none, it was a consistent struggle to find a new job. I was applying. I had applied for like between 20 and 40 jobs before one of them got back to me for an interview, and now I have ridiculous hours that I don't, well, not ridiculous hours so much as ridiculous days that I get scheduled, which, I mean, I guess that's pretty much every job that isn't your straight doing the thing, but I personally don't like it. Yeah, that sucked majorly. So, that's kind of why I said I need things that I'm not going to need to take as much time to do or edit, because I need to be able to still put stuff out while I'm now working a regular job. Other bad things that have happened are my 60-gallon fish tank very suddenly decided that it was no longer going to function as a fish tank, and like 30 to 40 like 20 to 30 gallons of water ended up all over our apartment floor over the course of literally just a couple hours, because the tank wasn't leaving when we left to get to go do a bunch of running around and get chores done and junk, and then we came back and suddenly the entire thing was a puddle. So that sucked. I guess the good thing that came out of that is one of the pet stores that's not nearby but near enough by happened to be having a sale on fish tanks that weekend for anything over 50 gallons. So we ended up just upgrading to a 70-gallon tank. But that was an incredibly hectic weekend. And then literally the week right after that, my 2-gallon tank decided to start leaking. Fortunately, by that point in time, the most of what was in there was easy enough to simply remove because that was originally my little beta tank, and the beta passed away because store betas are not great most of the time when you get them. I'm gonna be honest, especially around here. I think the longest that I've had a beta that actually stayed alive was like 2 years, and this isn't due to me not knowing how to take care of fish. Alright, I literally have awards in aquarium management. This is due to the fact that when you get betas around here, in like most cases, they're already sick. And you're essentially just giving them a new home to live the last little bit of their life in. As like everything in the tank was working correctly. I had already filtered it through. I very specifically had already put a couple neon tetras in there in order to make sure that the water was correctly filtered, was correct and working. This is mostly due to the fact that betas, when you buy betas, especially in this vicinity, they are not in good health. Aside from that tangent, but also going along with it, so many of my pets died. Now, a lot of them were fish, and a lot of them were older fish, and by that I mean basically all of the fish that died were between 3 and 6 years old. And that's how long I had them, and most of them were fully grown when I got them, which means I don't know how old they were when I got them, obviously. That's just kind of the thing with fish. So, several of my, I'm going to say, larger and thus more attached to fish passed away. My ridiculously sized goldfish, Glitch, Leo, which was my one of my catfish, one of my what the hell are they called? I can't remember. I can never remember what they're called. They're like a very specific type of catfish that they only get about yay big, and they have the ridiculously sized fins, and I can never remember what they're called. Fran, my giant freshwater shark, she passed away. Whip was a hybrid catfish. It was a combination of a couple different smaller catfish, I assume. Was literally just labeled as hybrid small, which meant that he was only going to get like yay big, which meant he was perfect for most, well, either of my two tanks, because I have a 45 and a 60. Houdini, my clawed frog, he died. Swampert, my axolotl, passed away too. The one that was the most devastating was my lizard, because that one, Trico, when he passed away, and I made that announcement in the Paldarium video, but that was incredibly sudden and tragic because we have absolutely no clue what happened. Along with that, also, my fiance's grandfather passed away. So, this has not been a great year for me because there I'm going to be honest, the biggest problem was the losing of, or was the having to quit my job and then having to struggle to get a new one. Because that, well, it sucks having your dream presented to you and then removed suddenly. But other updates that pertain specifically to the channel. It's a new year, so I'm going to make new thumbnails for all of the more active series. Obviously, the ones that are like less needed aren't going to get updates. But for the most part, all of the old series are going to get new thumbnail layouts for the new year, because that way you can keep track of the seasons, and I'm going to keep doing that. So, up until the end of December, they're all going to have the thumbnails that you know, and then starting next year, they're going to get new thumbnails. That seems correct. I have all of the socials made for the other channels, and I have all of those linked on the page that I made for my thing, but I will go ahead and link both my card and the card for the other channel in the description. I'm going to continue learning how to do animation and hopefully stop motion. Those two things are more likely going to end up on the Man Munch Extras channel, while the stop motion is definitely going to keep ending up there because that's where that series started. I am going to probably continue posting the first episode of whatever I make here, and then they're going to continue going up there, and that way I can keep a playlist going on this channel too for all of them. That just seems to make sense to me. Excuse me. Like I said, I hope the production quality is better. I also hope that we're going to continue getting better production quality, but we're still trying to learn how to do things, because, well, I've only been doing this for like a year adjacent. Or at least I've only really started doing it like consistently for like a year. Like I already said, there's going to be more speed draws. I'm hoping that that's going to be... I want to get all of my furry characters ref sheets made by the end of next year. And I'm specifying furry characters because I'm not going to include all of the... If I included all of the humanoid characters, it wouldn't get done. So we're going to start with the furry characters. Because I want to make them little, like, ID badges, and I want to do something with that. I think that would be fun. And updates on the two existing. So, the reason... I'm gonna be completely honest with you, the reason that I have not finished The Haunting of Swain's Fancy yet is because it has been almost literally a year since I actually read the book, which means that in order for me to remember the details of what I was drawing, I need to re-listen to me reading the book, as I read the book in order to be able to get rid of the book, because it was one of the little short books, so I kind of wanted to just finish reading it and then be able to donate it. That was one of the big things that got a lot of things deleted from, honestly, was the ridiculous amount of books that I owned that I was either never going to read or read once and am not going to read again. So, yeah. So that's the reason that Swain's Fancy hasn't gotten finished yet. I need to re-listen to myself reading the book so that I can. How this worked was I read the book, I read each chapter, and I did that before we moved here. So when I was reading the thing, after I was finished reading it, I would either do a sketch as to what I was doing, or I would go in and use, I think it's called Poser or Posit or something, and I would just use the little 3D model things that you can do to make the pose that I wanted. And then I would save that, and then I would continue. But because they are only little sketches, I need to re-listen to myself reading the book so that I can actually, you know, remember what I'm drawing. And update on Homestuck. I am going to continue reading Homestuck, obviously. The main thing is that I need time. And I kind of focused more on getting a bunch of things that would be easy for me to record and edit done rather than doing the reading thing, which while it doesn't require any editing, it does require me to sit and talk for like an hour. And it's winter, and we're in the northern United States, which means talking for that long dries out your throat horrifically. So those might end up getting short. So if I do continue reading Homestuck in the near future, it's going to probably get shortened down to 20-ish minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, so that I am not killing my throat. Yeah, because even me just having talked for, this is only like not even a half hour, and my throat's already getting croaky. So yeah. Anyways, that's all of the updates for, I guess, me, my life, and the channel. So, hopefully you guys continue to stick around. We are very close to 400 subs, which means I am concerningly close to monetization. I just need I need y'all to watch the long form content. Anyway, toodaloo.